Welcome to our channel on near-death experiences, NDEs. We'll explore stories of people who've been on the brink between life and death, returning with new perspectives. These accounts offer a unique glimpse into existence, life's meaning, and the universe. Each video is a journey through transformative experiences and spiritual discovery. We're creating a space of understanding and sharing for these extraordinary stories. Whether you're here out of curiosity or seeking comfort, we hope to bring you peace and awareness. Join us on this journey of spiritual exploration. Every moment is an opportunity to grow and love. Thank you for being here with us.
One Friday evening at 10 o'clock, while I was combing my hair, the brush slipped from my hand. As I tried to catch it, I couldn't grasp it firmly, and this marked the beginning of an extraordinary experience. I was suddenly overwhelmed by panic, the kind of panic one feels when faced with something deeply unjust and disturbing. However, in that moment of anguish, I also experienced a sensation of absolute peace that enveloped me completely. Calmly, I turned to my wife, telling her that I needed to be taken to the hospital. I sensed the presence of other entities in the room, and as I made my way to the car, I felt supported on both sides, as if invisible presences were guiding and protecting me. During the journey to the hospital, I was certain that I was about to die. I had only a few minutes left to say goodbye to my wife and son, trying not to let them realize that I would never return home. This moment was filled with conflicting emotions: sadness for the impending separation and gratitude for having the opportunity for a final farewell. The experience I lived through was so intense and profound that I could continue describing it for much longer. I found myself in the presence of Jesus Christ and was granted a glimpse of what the future would hold. In the few years that have passed since then, I have had confirmation that we would arrive exactly at the point where we are now, and I understood that I would embark on one of the 5 unexplored paths that lay before me. Until that moment, we had walked a path of great suffering. The experience of stopping to observe what was happening was both wonderful and painful. I was shown the existing situation. Milosevic would commit suicide, and ground troops would initiate something destined to have repercussions for a very long time. Usually, those who experience an NDE bring something significant with them. In my case, I was granted an unforgettable glimpse into the years to come. I also saw what could have been, and this vision went beyond my human comprehension. It was something so vast and complex that my mind struggled to fully process it. During this experience, I had not taken any medications or substances that could have influenced it in any way. What I experienced was pure and authentic, unaltered by external factors. However, translating this experience into words has proven extremely difficult. How can one explain having experienced past, present, and future simultaneously, along with many other sensations and perceptions that transcend our daily reality? The crucial moment of the experience coincided with a life-threatening event. I was having a heart attack and knew I was about to die. Yet I didn't feel alone. Even in the moments immediately preceding the heart attack, I sensed a comforting presence beside me. This awareness made me understand that we are never truly alone, not even in the darkest and most difficult moments of our existence. During the experience, my level of consciousness and alertness was extremely high. I felt incredibly focused and able to assimilate enormous amounts of information in a very short time. I experienced intense happiness, but also pain and love to a degree that goes beyond our capacity for understanding. It was as if these emotions had taken on a completely new and deeper meaning. The experience I had was absolutely not comparable to a dream. It was real, vivid, and tangible in a way that dreams can never be. However, when asked if I experienced a separation of consciousness from the body, I find it difficult to provide a definitive answer. My perception of myself during the experience was so different from the usual one that it's hard to define it in terms of separation or non-separation. When asked to describe my appearance or separate form from the body, I again find myself in difficulty. What I can say is that I wasn't particularly concerned about being composed only of energy. It was as if this condition were perfectly natural and required no explanation or justification. The emotions I felt during the experience were intense and varied. As I mentioned earlier, I experienced profound happiness when I was immersed in the light. At the same time, I felt deep suffering when I sensed or shared Christ's sadness as we together observed the unfolding of future time. It is extremely difficult to explain the complexity and depth of these emotions with the words at our disposal. Regarding unusual sounds or noises, what I perceived was primarily a sound of peace and love. However, these were not sounds as we commonly understand them in our daily reality. It was more of a vibration, a frequency that communicated directly with my soul, transmitting sensations of harmony and well-being. When asked if I passed through a tunnel or a fence, I don't have a precise answer to provide. My experience didn't necessarily follow the classic patterns of NDEs as they are often described. What I can say with certainty is that I saw a light, but describing it is too difficult. It was a light that went beyond simple visual perception. It was a presence, a life force that permeated everything. During my experience, I encountered and saw other beings. I cannot go into details about who these beings were or how they appeared, but their presence was undeniable and significant. I also experienced a review of past events in my life, a common experience in many NDEs, which allowed me to see my existence from a completely new perspective. A particularly interesting aspect of my experience was having observed and heard things concerning people or events that could be verified later. This characteristic gave the experience a sense of concreteness and connection with physical reality that strengthened my conviction of its authenticity. I visited places, levels, or dimensions that were wonderful and distinct from our daily reality. These places were characterized by a beauty and perfection that go beyond any human description. During the experience, I had a clear sensation of altered time and space. The normal physical laws that govern our universe seemed not to apply, or to apply in a completely different way. I also had the sensation of special knowledge, of a universal order or purpose. It was as if I had been granted a glimpse into the grand design of the universe, to understand, if only for an instant, the profound meaning of existence. I reached what seemed to be a boundary or limiting physical structure, although the exact nature of this limit is difficult to describe with the words at our disposal. A particularly significant aspect of my experience was the knowledge of future events. I was shown visions of the future that have proven accurate over the years since. This ability of foresight has profoundly influenced the way I see the world and my role in it. During the experience, I was involved and aware of the decision to return to my physical body. This process of return was accompanied by a series of conflicting emotions. On one hand, the desire to remain in that state of bliss and superior knowledge; on the other, the awareness of still having a task to perform in earthly life. After the experience, I have had no other events in my life, nor have I taken medicines or substances that could reproduce any part of the experience I lived. The uniqueness and depth of what I experienced have remained unmatched, testifying to its extraordinary and transcendent nature. Finally, I must admit that the questions I have answered and the information I have provided cannot accurately and exhaustively describe my experience. The very nature of what I experienced goes beyond the descriptive capabilities of human language. There are aspects and nuances that escape our understanding and cannot be translated into words. This NDE has profoundly transformed my vision of life, death, and the universe. It has opened my eyes to realities that go beyond our daily perception and has left me with the certainty that there is much more to existence than we can see or understand with our limited senses. The experience remains a beacon of light in my life, constantly guiding me and reminding me of the vastness and beauty of the cosmos of which we are a part.
If you enjoyed this video or you're interested in the topics we cover on this channel, I'd be really grateful if you could subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future content. Share the video with someone you think might appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support. Preface: near-death experiences, NDEs, can be profound, life-changing events. Remember, NDEs are subjective experiences, not proof of an afterlife or a guide for living. Channel purpose: this channel shares NDE stories and information, providing a platform for open discussion without promoting specific beliefs. Disclaimer: this content doesn't replace professional medical or psychological advice. If struggling with mental health issues, seek professional help immediately. If you've had an NDE and need support, consult a therapist experienced with NDEs. We don't promote suicide or self-harm. If considering suicide, contact a prevention lifeline immediately. Suicide prevention resources: National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, 1-800-273-8255. Crisis text line, text HOME to 741741. Conclusion. We hope you find this channel informative. For questions, please contact us. Remember, suicide prevention is crucial. If you're struggling, seek help. You're not alone.